You know, guys, you'll have to excuse me. You're not going to get my typical energetic, chipper, jubilant self right now. It's 3:45 in the morning, and I couldn't sleep because the pain in my legs was just too much, and I kept getting a shooting pain going up my spinal fusion. So I laid in bed for a while, and I was thinking about the journey that has really become where I am today, and who I am today, and the pains that I live in after the spinal fusion, my traumatic brain injury, the most recent car accident that really messed up my spine. And I was thinking a lot about 10 years ago when I was in pain, but not in horrible, excruciating, chronic, daily, agonizing pain. And I could work through it. And I was a musician, and I I'd be on stage for a while with my guitar sometimes, and then I started companies like my tree service, and then a construction company, and I've always worked labor, and I've been flipping houses most of my life, and so I've always loved working labor. I've loved using my body to work. It's very satisfying, and when your body stops working for you, and you have to stop working. You know, that's really hard to come to grips with for some of us, especially when we've spent our whole lives working hard, being able to work hard. But I was thinking 10 years ago, before my pain got bad, what were some of the things that I utilized to fight my pain? And this is right before I found kratom, right? So this is about 10 years ago. I had an injury, and it's really one of the injuries that um, caused a lot of my back pain early on. And I was thinking back, comparing, organic versus non-organic solutions. And on the days that it was really, agonizing for me to get through a day of work, I'd take 3 to 4 ibuprofen 3 to 4 times a day. I'd always take it with food. Always took it with food. So at least that was at least limiting the damage to my stomach lining. But today I wanted to share one of the main elixirs that I used to fight inflammation. And essentially all illnesses come from a form of inflammation to the cells within our body. And when we lower inflammation, then we heal the cells. So I fully believe that our maker, our creator, our God above has given us many, many organic and natural supplements, herbs and compounds that are here for our benefit. And one of those is obviously kratom. Another one is cannabis, even natural opioids, and there's just so many natural options that the government can't make money on, really. So that's where hence comes in the pharmaceutical companies. And the pharmaceutical companies, and that's the good, the bad, the ugly, and the in between, because obviously many of us out there utilize pharmaceuticals on a daily basis, myself included. And many of us have been addicted to and hooked on pharmaceuticals. But the elixir I wanted to share with you is a compound that I basically put together from a lot of education, just reading back then, studying. There really 10 years ago, there really wasn't a whole lot of YouTube, I guess. I mean, it wasn't like it is now. The information out there isn't like it is now. And my mother was always very homeopathic and natural and organic. And, she jumped on that boat early on when I was a kid. Even though we couldn't really afford it, she tried to keep me eating organically. So I want to share with you guys 4 natural herbs that can be used to fight inflammation. And all of them have great anti-inflammatory properties. So in this elixir that I would make to lower inflammation, it would also be anytime I got sick or I felt myself getting sick. And there's 4 things in it. The 4 things are oil of oregano, moringa leaf, turmeric, and beet powder. Those are the 4 things that I would mix together in a smoothie, typically with frozen berries. Back then I was consuming dairy. Sometimes I would use almond milk, coconut milk, and I would make a smoothie and I would sweeten it with honey. Then as I found kratom, I would add kratom powder to that. And so within this elixir, within the smoothie, I was getting a host of anti-inflammatory properties. Then the kratom would also fight the pain. So the kratom would take care of the immediate pain while the ingredients were working undercover, or at least over time, to then lower inflammation. I rarely ever got sick. I mean, I had injuries galore from my occupations, but I rarely ever got sick. And most of you know I'm a father of 6 kids. I have 6 amazing children. And back then, 10 years ago, I only had 4 of them. My youngest son is 10, so 10 years ago he was just born. But I would also share this smoothie with my kids. Anytime I would be drinking one, they'd want to taste the smoothie, of course, because it looked good and it tasted, okay. I'd sweeten enough with the honey. But if you're taking these 4 things alone, it can be kind of rough, especially because they don't taste very good plain or by themselves. But these 4 things, over time, I can tell you, I can promise you from my experience, definitely lowered inflammation within my body and definitely helped fight illnesses. And again, I also had back then 2 companies I was running at the same time that I had created. And I couldn't miss work. I had just had my 4th child. And so I would try to drink this smoothie every day. I wouldn't always have the time or take the time or make the time to do it, but I would try to have it every day. And so I want to encourage you guys to try this. You can buy most of these ingredients at a health food store if you have one locally. But now, of course, you can also buy most of these ingredients on Amazon and have it delivered right to your door. So it's pretty convenient. So I want to urge you guys, really urge you, if you're in a point where you're getting sick a lot, you feel like you're having a lot of illnesses just come and go, or you have some aches and pains that are persistent and just won't go away, and we're not talking about like major pains like I have with my spinal fusion and my TBI. This elixir is not really something that could replace the pain medications that I take at this point or the amount of kratom that I had been taking. But I can definitely tell you that this specific elixir, as we're going to call it, this smoothie, or you can make it a shake, or you can make it a tea, or you can make it capsules. You can encapsulate all of these things. You can buy them in pill form, in capsule form. But I strongly encourage you to try it. At least try it. Give me 30 days on this, okay? And I want you to report back in the comments section. It takes time for natural supplements to build up in the system to the point where they're really functioning on a productive basis. So give it 30, maybe even 45 days. But then again, some of you may feel that this is working for you after 7 days. Again, we're all very different. So friends, thanks again for watching. I hope, and I really, really hope that you guys will try this, because this is one of those things that I can tell you did work for me. All right, guys, I'll catch you next video.